Actually, just before we leave this chapter, I think it might be worth saying that if you are using Java 9 or above, and I'm in the Java 11 version of this project right now, so I can show you this, then you could, of course, use the module system to package up your code together, but not allow the users of your module to be able to access the customer class. Doing that would mean that they can't do the cast. So all we're going to make available is the read-only customer interface and the customer records collection. So let's have a go at doing that just so that you can see what I mean. Before I start any of this code, I do want to say this is going to be a little bit of a hack because what I'm trying to do here is convert what was originally Java 8 code into Java 11 code with modules. So I might have to go backwards and forwards a little bit as we go through. Please bear with me as we do that. Now, we don't currently have a module info-java file in here, so we'll need to create one of those. So let's do that first of all. So I'll put that in as a new file, which will be called module-info.java. And I think we'll need to move everything into a sensible looking package. So let's create a new package. And I'm going to make this a bit more production standard now. So we'll call this com.virtualpairprogrammers. I think we called this escaping references, the project we did. And then I think we'll put in the package name customers. And I'm going to move the read-only customer into that package and the customer records into that package. They're the two classes that I want to be able to export. I'm not going to worry about main. That's actually going to become a separate project in a moment or two. But let's move customer, the implementation of our read-only customer, into a different package. I think I'll create another package under here, which we'll call customer implementation. And I'll move the customer object into there. So I'm going to remove the main.java because we'll be recreating that in a separate project shortly. And so just to be clear then, I've got two packages. Let me make this a little bit bigger. We've got customer records and read-only customer in our customers package and the customer object in the customer implementation package, which is under customers. Now I've got a compiler here, so let's go and fix that first of all. And I'm guessing it's simply that we need to import customer, so let's do that. Okay, that's fine. And what else is wrong here? I don't think there's anything. Let's save this. Good. Okay, so that's now compiling. So the point of this then is that we should be able to now export the customers package from the module, but not the customer implementation package. So let's edit our module-info.java file to say that we want to export just this package only. I'll just get rid of all these comments at the top here. All we need to do then in here is put in exports and the name of the package, which was com.virtualpairprogrammers.escapingreferences.customers. But because I'm not going to also export the customer implementation subpackage, that won't be visible outside of this module. So to check that that's worked, let's go and create a second project, which can be our client project that's going to use escaping references. So we'll do a new Java project. And I think we'll call this one escaping references client. And in the module-info of our client project, we're going to say that this requires the escaping references module. So that should say requires, and I think it was just called escaping references. Let me just double check that. Yes, it is. That's the name of the module. In fact, I'm going to copy it and paste it there. And let's save that. So of course, at this point, our client won't compile because it doesn't know where to find escaping references. We need to add the module to our client build path. So let's do that. We'll right click on the client and do build path and configure build path. Go to the projects tab, click on the module path, add, and we want to add our escaping references project as a module to the module path for our client project. We'll apply that and close it. And that's now compiling, which means that if I go and create the client code in here, let's create a new class, which I'll call main. I want this to be a runnable class. What I should be able to do is something similar here to what we had before to create the customers, add them to the records, and then iterate through them. So let's have a go at doing that. I think our main class actually needs to be in a package for this to work. So let's create a package for it. I'm just going to call it main. I'm really not interested, but then this will compile, hopefully. Yes, it will. So in our main class, what do we want to do? We want to, first of all, get an instance of our customer records class. And we're calling that records, and let's instantiate it. And we'll just need to import customer records. So let's do that. And we can see it's coming from the correct package within our module. That's good. The next thing we want to do is add a customer in. So what we were doing before was something like records.addCustomer. We'd need to provide an instance of a customer class, and I can't create one of these now because we haven't exported customer. So what I think I'll need to do is change my addCustomer method to take a string instead and create the customer locally within the module. So let's just go and do that. In the customer records class over here, I'm saying rather than taking a customer to add, we're going to take a string to add, which will be the customer's name. And then within the map, what we should be able to put is the name as the key. And the value is here, where we're going to be able to create the new customer object, passing in the name to its constructor. So we can do that because within this module, we have access to the customer class. We don't have access to it outside the module. Let's just save that, go back to our main class. And now when we try and add a customer, hopefully we're being asked for the name of the customer. That's good. So the first one can be John. And the second one, I think we called them Simon. Okay, actually let me make John with a capital just to keep things nice and tidy. And now let's do the iteration. So we want to do for, and it's an object of type. Well, we don't have access to customer. If I try and do customer and import it, what we'll see is that we are not allowed to import the customer type. It's not accessible because we've successfully hidden it within the module. So the only thing I can do is try and loop through instances of the read-only customer. That one should be accessible, and it is. Let me remove the invalid import now. So we're going to say for each read-only customer, I'll just call it C, in our collection called records. And here's where we want to do some kind of print line. So we should be able to do something like print out each customer, just C. Let's run that and see if that works. So just making sure everything's compiling here. We'll click on run. Good, we've got our two customers. But the point of doing this then is that now if I try and find one of our customers, so let's say we want to do records.find the customer called John. What can I do with that customer? Well, there's no set methods here, so I can't mutate it in any way. And of course, I can't say that's an object of type customer because I can't import the customer class. If you remember what we did before is we said that the customer was created by finding the record and casting it to an object of type customer. I can't do that here because the customer class is not accessible to me. Again, if I try and import it, I'll be told that it's not available. It's a class that's not accessible within the module. So that was a little bit of work, a little bit of a hack, but I just wanted to show you that if you are using Java 9 or above, then this does give us a way of providing read-only access to the objects using interfaces. And by hiding the implementation that is not read-only, it means that the users of your module have no choice but to use the read-only version. So it's probably the safest way to get over the problem of escaping references. So I hope you found this chapter useful. We've now got a sense of what escaping references are and how to avoid them, and at least seeing that although there might be some performance impact for avoiding escaping references, that performance impact should be pretty low. The next chapter is going to be an exercise to try and fix some escaping references in a real project. So take a good break because it's going to be a bit of work for you to do in the next chapter. And then we'll move back into the main topics for this course, looking at how memory works again in chapters 9 and 10.